In this video, we will explore the 7 historical principles for achieving mental invulnerability. Uncover the crucial tools of this philosophy that can fortify your mind and guide you through the challenges of existence. Let's move forward. Principle 1. Act according to your principles, not under the influence of your emotional state. Within Stoicism, virtue is the only good, and vice is the only evil. The ability to act virtuously, even when tempted to act otherwise, distinguishes a good person from a bad one. This requires us to strive to act in accordance with our principles and values, without allowing our momentary emotions to determine our actions. In Stoicism, happiness is achieved through the practice of behavior consistent with virtue. By acting with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline, which are the 4 Stoic virtues, we naturally tread the path of success and happiness. Conversely, acting in contradiction to these principles, such as showing laziness, exploiting others, ignoring what we know to be right, giving into impulses, or acting unjustly, compromises our own well-being and plunges us into unhappiness. Therefore, before making any decision, especially an emotional one, it is advisable to question if it aligns with our core values. Otherwise, it is prudent to reconsider the action and reflect on how we would act if fully aligned with our values. Principle 2. Embrace adversity as an opportunity for learning. The Stoics believed that adversity was an inherent part of life, arising and fading away in its own way, regardless of our desires. Since we cannot avoid adversity, the wisest approach is to seek its positive aspects. Instead of reacting with self-pity or frustration, each challenge contains a lesson to be assimilated, shares wisdom, and offers a glimmer of hope that helps us overcome it. The responsibility to discover these lessons falls on us, and by cultivating the habit of seeking them, we not only avoid becoming victims but also develop a resilient mindset to move forward. Stoics of the past often compared life's obstacles to a battle against an opponent or training in a gym. Just as our muscles need resistance to grow, our character needs challenges to strengthen. Epictetus once stated, "Difficulty shows what men are." Therefore, when a difficulty falls upon you, remember that God, like a trainer of wrestlers, has matched you with a rough young man. Why? So that you may become an Olympic conqueror, but it is not accomplished without sweat. In the same way that Epictetus viewed adversity as a source of growth, even if uncomfortable, by seeing it as a teacher or coach, you will discover the lesson and move towards improvement. Principle 3. Understand the duality of control. Imagine 2 intertwined circles. The inner circle represents the sphere of our control, while the outer one encompasses the vast territory of uncertainty in life. The Stoics, especially Epictetus, taught that much of our suffering can be alleviated by learning to distinguish between these 2 domains. Within this inner space are our judgments, decisions, desires, actions, beliefs, and values, a sphere in which we have influence through our will or that is determined by us when we neglect this responsibility. Epictetus once said, "Some things are up to us and some things are not up to us. Our opinions are up to us, and our impulses, desires, aversions, in short, whatever is our own doing. Our bodies are not up to us, nor are our possessions, our reputations, or our public offices, or, that is, whatever is not our own doing." By working within our sphere of control, we are naturally free, independent, and strong. Beyond this sphere, we are weak, limited, and dependent. If you place your hopes in things beyond your control, assuming what belongs to others, you are subject to stumbling, falling, suffering, and blame, whether from gods or humans. But if you focus your attention only on what is truly within your command and leave the rest to others, then you are in control of your inner world. No one can harm you or disturb you, you won't blame anyone and won't have enemies. By recognizing that we have control over this area of our lives, we begin to free ourselves from the direct influence of the world around us. In our actions and reactions, we become less vulnerable to the currents of the world that push and pull us, instead taking charge of our own destiny. The outer circle, beyond our judgments and actions, encompasses everything else: events, outcomes, other people, our reputation, the economy, the weather, both the unpredictable and the external. If we try to influence this outer circle, we are trying to control unruly tides, a futile task that inevitably leads to frustration, doubt, and even anger. These feelings arise because, no matter what we do, everything in this outer circle is beyond our control and will unfold independently of our efforts. Quoting Epictetus again, demand not that events should happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. By making this differentiation and establishing a clear distinction between these two domains, Stoics find peace in accepting what is beyond their control while discovering the ability to act by determining where to focus their energy to effect changes. Principle 4. Cultivate inner serenity. There is a historical principle known as apatheia, which should not be confused with apathy, denoting indifference or insensitivity. In the Stoic context, apatheia means freeing oneself from unnecessary or irrational passions and emotions. Stoics asserted that irrational emotion was a sign of faulty judgment and sought to achieve emotional balance first by ensuring that our internal assessments were realistic and rational. This could be achieved through the Socratic method of questioning. Secondly, they sought to maintain unshakable inner serenity regardless of the turbulence of the external world. Since emotions have a powerful impact on us due to our human nature, which is emotional, we experience joy, anger, jealousy, sadness, and various emotions that guide us in our social and physical journeys. However, ancient Stoics warned against letting these emotions dictate our actions and moods. They taught us that while we may not always avoid initial emotional reactions, we can decide how we relate to them. Practical steps, such as self-awareness, are essential. Self-awareness is undoubtedly one of the most challenging skills to develop in this philosophy. It involves the ability to observe emotions as they arise and intercept them before they can influence our thoughts and behaviors. In this sense, meditation emerges as one of the most accessible and effective tools. By sitting down and practicing awareness of fluctuations in emotions, feelings, thoughts, and physical sensations in a controlled environment, we strengthen our ability to perceive these elements when facing everyday life. Meditating and practicing mindfulness help us learn to disidentify from emotions rather than identify with them. This detachment makes us more resistant to being controlled by emotions and allows them not to dominate our behaviors. Principle 5. Embrace reality, don't resist it. The Stoics embraced reality as it was, recognizing that change was a natural and inevitable part of life. They believed that resisting or fighting reality was futile and would cause suffering. Instead, accepting reality, even when challenging, allowed them to find inner peace and adaptability in the face of circumstances. Change was seen as the natural state of the universe, something essential for growth, development, new beginnings, and even for our own existence. If nothing changed, we would never have come into being. Is the well-being of the universe or your own more pleasant and more suitable to the universal nature? Wrote a Stoic philosopher. They recognized that, Although the state of the world and its changes could be uncomfortable, they were inherent to nature and inevitable as they were beyond our control. The Stoics, therefore, oriented themselves to accept the realities of the world. Instead of lamenting what happens to us, we accept it and extract learning from it. We recognize that blaming ourselves for misfortunes does not alter the outcome but influences our mental state. Principle 6. Reflect and review in nightly meditation. The practice of nightly reflection, an approach endorsed by the historical Roman Seneca, much like Emperor Marcus Aurelius devoted himself to writing meditations, incorporates the habit of reflection. This practice can be beneficial in several ways. Often, most of us move through life without deep self-awareness. We instinctively respond to the environment around us, often automatically, based on habits or ingrained behaviors. If these behaviors are constructive, great. If they are destructive, the situation becomes complicated. However, without a pause for reflection, how can we discern between our constructive and rational behaviors from the destructive and irrational ones? The practice of nightly meditation provides us with that daily interval to cultivate introspection, allowing us to observe how the day unfolded in terms of our actions, reactions, behaviors, and habits. Seneca once wrote to his friend Lucilius in a letter titled On the Philosopher's Seclusion, "When the light has been removed and my wife, who is aware of my habit, has become silent, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said, hiding nothing from myself, passing nothing by." Principle 7. Embrace the practice of acceptance. The practice of acceptance, a fundamental historical principle, emerges as an essential foundation for the development of mental resilience. Stoics proclaim that acceptance is the master key to conquering inner peace and serenity, crucial skills for navigating life's complexities with grace and resilience. Acceptance is essentially recognizing and embracing realities that are beyond our control. Stoics advocate that, by accepting what we cannot change, we release the energy that would otherwise be consumed by futile resistance to unalterable circumstances. Instead, we direct our attention to areas where we have effective control, promoting a more focused and directed approach. By incorporating acceptance, we avoid the overwhelming and discouraging feelings often associated with struggling against unyielding external circumstances. This attitude allows for conscious adaptability in the face of challenges, strengthening mental resilience. Furthermore, the ongoing practice of acceptance nurtures an oasis of inner peace and tranquility. Confronting challenging situations with this mindset provides an inner strength that transcends external life fluctuations. Thank you for watching up to this point. If you want to learn more about Stoicism, go to the pinned comment and discover exclusive content. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.